To another episode of 40 Plus First Time Mom. I am Michelle and I am super excited to share today because I'm talking about incubating your desires. Okay, so I got my new mic here. No, it's actually not a new mic, right? Let's just talk about this. It's an old mic. Have you ever been like looking for something or wanting to get something and realize you already have it? That's me a lot of times because I will get things and I will tuck it away from when I need it and then I'll forget. Okay. Okay. It happens. Anyhow, incubating your desires. So, being a mom over 40 is awesome sauce. Okay. And in the process, I started to think, right? Because there was a me before, having a little one. And I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've been incubated this thing. The desire before I was pregnant, I was ready. You understand what I'm saying? My desires were fully matured and nurtured. Okay. So incubation is the process of taking something in, magnifying it based on the amount of nurture that you put into it, the amount of attention that you gear toward it. So when it produces, because there's fruit after you incubate, it blossoms and it grows and it's fulfilling, all that good stuff. So my desires were incubated before I started the journey as a mom. Let me tell you some examples, share a few examples. So, one thing about me is I've always been a planner, and I don't know if you all have taken that assessment. It's called Clifton Strengths, and you learn your strengths. And my number one strength is strategic. I am absolutely strategic. I see the big picture. So when I'm talking to someone, it's just like they may be like, okay, what can I do tomorrow? And I'm like, what about 10 years from now? Like, come on, let's get ahead. So I'm that big picture kind of person. So when you talk to me, things kind of explode and I'm like later down the line. So in incubating, that helps. Being strategic helps in the incubation process because I can go as far back as when I was a teenager. I incubated my desire to become fully whole, mature before having a child. That was my desire. So I incubated that desire. I moved strategically. I've opened several businesses. I've cultivated and nurtured beautiful relationships and friendships. And now, as a mom, I can be at peace and in a place of rest as I'm enjoying motherhood and entering into motherhood because I incubated ideas, I incubated relationships, and they're producing fruit. Like our daughter is so loved because of the incubation of friendships and relationships. Like my friends, they like, how my niece doing? You know what I mean? People are checking in on her people because mommy, daddy had healthy relationships and people around them, around us, that celebrated our journey. Therefore, they're celebrating our honey cup. You hear me? So I this video is all about the process of incubation, which is multiplication, if you ask me, if you're incubating right. You understand? So, and when you think about it, just in a natural from the mom perspective, we literally take in, we incubate for 9 months, literally nurture, feed, we rest, we get the proper exercise, we do all the things, mental stability and calmness, and we do all the things in order to produce what? Fruit, birth, what? Our child, or for those who have multiple children, our children. And so incubation prepares us for the birthing process. You hear me? So we can go for those who went through the Lamaze class and those who, you got to know how to breathe. You got to know what positions to be in to be ready to push. All those things help in the manifestation, the birthing process of your little one. And we have to know that we can incubate our ideas. So if you are in the wait, I'm gonna call this thing the incubation phase. If you're in the incubation phase of motherhood, where you're desiring to be a mother, this is the perfect time to incubate those desires, multiply them, nurture them, feed them. I mean, by feeding your body correctly, you feed them by feeding your relationship correctly, because who you have a child with is important. Therefore, your husband is important. He is not just a means to an end, he is part of the union of producing your child. And in that process, making sure that your union with him is strong and solid, so that when a child does come, that there's excitement in the home, there's expectation in the home, there's planning in the home, there's preparation, all that good stuff. And then your relationship is strong, that you can endure and make it through those sleepless nights. Because when I tell you, there's been some nights that we were exhausted. And let me tell you, when you're sleepy, exhausted, and a lot of stuff going on, sometimes you can be a little irritable, you understand, a little short. And there's been times where I'll talk about me, you know what I mean? Let him talk about himself. But me, I was just like over it the next day. You understand what I'm saying? So I wasn't the cheery, I'm pretty mild for the most part, but sometimes I can get to a place where it's just like, oh, something may get on my nerves, or this, that, and the other. And when you don't get sleep because you're attending to an infant, it can weigh on you the next day. So I've had those moments so far in these stages. However, we've incubated our relationship along the way, and it's beautiful, so we can withstand those short moments because we have a reservoir, come on now, of love, nurture, care, and all those things that produce in our marriage, that sustains us in spite of our hiccups. I'm gonna call them hiccups along the way, because sometimes I play too much. I'm just gonna talk about me. You understand what I'm saying? Sometimes I play too much. I'm in here, not responding correctly. It's me. You understand what I'm saying? What they used to say back in the day, it's me standing in need of prayer sometimes. However, it is definitely a joy where we can come together, and we already had routines. We have routines within our marriage, between prayer, communion, games. We play games with each other. We take walks in the neighborhood. So those are routines and desires that we incubated before our little one came. So now that she's here, we can continue them, maybe not as frequently, but there's a foundation. And when you have a cultivated desire, you continue it forward. It just doesn't, when something is in you, you don't drop it when you add to your family. It comes back because your desire drives you to continue forward. So guess what? We've taken our family walks. As soon as the weather broke, we were outside. Okay, outside. So that's been a lot of fun. And also, there are some things that haven't gotten back into the routine of as of yet. However, because the desire is incubated so well within our marriage, it's going to fit in at the appointed time. So that's one thing, portion of the incubate I wanted to share. Incubate your desires. So incubate your health, your hormones, your balance. Incubate your business. Like if you want your business to be at a certain space so that you can take time off when it's time to start your family. One thing that I did personally within my business is, well, my goal was to have my last client in December, which is what I did. I had my last client in December, and then I started back. What did I start? I think it was this month or the end of last month. I started having phone consultations again with clients and things of that nature. But the big projects start this month, the end of this month. So because I was in the place in my business where I could pivot a little bit and pause on the clients, it gave me that space of grace, what? To give birth. So those are different things. When you're incubating your desires, you're setting, it's a foundational thing that helps you to produce. So remember, Incubate your desires. Have fun in the process. And when you are in that manifestation stage, it can be almost seamless, smooth sailing, and you can handle those hiccups, those challenges, those humps in the journey. You understand? Because they gonna come. However, you can handle them. So this is a quick episode, and it is incubate your desires. This is your encouragement, and always remember the things that I should. Let me show y'all my book. I got the book. I keep it here. This is the journal. Ha ha ha. My pregnancy journey. I don't know. Can you see that? There it is. My pregnancy journey. It's available on Amazon. It takes you all through your pregnancy and postpartum. It has encouragement. I write you letters in here, and you have some games in here just for leisure time because you need it as a mom, and that's available on Amazon. And another thing that I share is a personal strategy series. So I have a 5-day challenge coming up, and I also have a mastermind. Listen, personal strategy leads to a life of fulfillment. We want to have fulfilled lives. We want to be congruent in our lives. You understand what I'm saying? And from that congruency, we can be fulfilled. And I am here to help you on that journey, or partner with you on that journey, assist you on that journey, cheer you on that journey. Whatever part you need, this series will help you along the way. Those details are in the description. Make sure you like, comment, share. Let me know topics you want to hear, things you want to talk about, if you want to be interviewed, all that fun stuff. Put it in the comments, and thank you for joining again. I'll see you next time.